In Myrtle Beach, you always go at your own pace. Lie out on the sand, lie out by the pool, go boogie boarding, go surfing, walk the boardwalk, walk the marsh walk, golf at one of 90 golf courses, mini golf at one of 50 mini golf courses, fish off a pier, fish from a chartered boat, go shopping, get drinks, eat the freshest seafood. The list is exhaustive, but the experience isn't. You can go all out or do nothing at all. How you relax is up to you. There is so much to do and explore, whether you're traveling with friends, family, or just yourself. With 60 miles of beach, you're going to find your place. If this sounds like what you need, then this is where you belong.
Hey, do y'all like fishing for prizes? Maybe a trip to Costa Rica or a once-in-a-lifetime African safari? Well, the Grand Strand Fishing Rodeo is back. Thanks to the hard work of Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Trilogy Outdoors Media, this once-popular event is back and is bigger and better than ever. This event is comprised of 12 monthly competitions that culminate in November with our annual banquet and expo, the celebration of fishing on the Grand Strand. New to this event is the freshwater division that will help include all of our anglers that live and visit the Grand Strand throughout the year. Monthly species winners will receive great prize packages from Bass Pro Shop and Surf Signs and Designs. But most importantly, they will receive an invite for them and a guest to our annual banquet and an entry in the grand prize drawing. So whether you fish the rivers, a pond, the pier, the surf, or a boat, you have a chance to win the grand prizes. To get signed up or for additional information, visit TrilogyOutdoorsMedia.com and click on event. Also, you can visit any of our weigh stations and registration stations to get signed up as well. Best of luck to everyone, and we'll see you at the scale. Trilogy Outdoors. All right, folks, welcome back to Trilogy Outdoors Podcast. And like I said, we are here at Backwoods Quail Club, and my guests are in the house. We're going to finally get to do some talking. And you don't have to listen to me run my mouth again. I know we're going to be missing the senator today, and obviously with all his deep questions, and you know, he's my educated partner, and Jimmy can tell you, when we did a podcast down at Featherhorn Farms.
I'm the uneducated.
Wait a minute. Then you and I are not too good stand-in hosts here, but I am super excited to be here with Stuart Clyburn. Is that
Scott Clyburn?
Scott Clyburn.
Yes,
Why did I
sir.
say Stuart?
Okay.
Scott Clyburn and the one and only Rick Hemingway, also known as Sel Hemingway's brother.
Well, let's don't tell everybody that.
I know. Y'all do look a lot alike now. Now that I look at
Come on now.
I see it.
There's only 18 years between us.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know you were that much older than him.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what. No, this is it's great being back here. I've taken some pictures inside this cabin. This cabin is awesome. Can we get the lady from over to bring us lunch?
We can make that happen.
Because I'm going to tell you, when I came down to pick my shotgun up that I won through NWTF, I tried to time it where it was right at lunchtime.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, the day I showed up, she wasn't doing lunch.
Yeah, her meals you don't want to miss for sure.
No, that's been my favorite part. I've come out here several times, filmed a couple television shows, had a great time out here, went quail hunting, and then, of course, I had to chase John Michael Morris around the woods for a turkey.
Absolutely.
Which
One and only.
They didn't cooperate in the morning, so we had to end up getting one late in the afternoon, and at that time, your dad's not alive anymore, is
That's
he?
correct.
Your dad was with us, and your dad, we sent your dad up to the top of a power line.
Scouting for you.
Scouting. And he had the binoculars, and he called John Michael and said, all right, I found them. They're down here. So I'm looking down the road, and I'm looking right where the birds are. I'm like, man, that is perfect. Like a half-mile walk. I'm loving it. So we get out the truck, park the truck, and I got this older Yankee. I can say that on here, by the way. I got this older retired Yankee with me filming, and John Michael starts walking through these woods, and we start walking. And I at minute 35, I finally said, how far are we going, dude? I couldn't keep up with him. He said, well, we got to go down here.
Their long legs were striding.
His long legs are moving, but we walked almost 2 miles to get to where, because what he wanted to do, he didn't want to risk spooking the bird. Mm-hmm. And the guy thinks like a turkey, you
Absolutely.
know that. And so what we had to do was shoot across a little slough of water and to get the bird. And what he wanted me to do was shoot twice, no matter what. So, because we couldn't just run up and we had to go back out that 2 miles and come back down the power line.
Right.
And, man, it just worked out perfect, except my camera guy got worn out. So John Michael said, give me the camera. So he took the camera and did the filming, the calling, and everything. And, man, he said, I mean, the video is unbelievable. But he said, get ready. And he just made one little cluck. And that bird just stuck his head up. And he said, shoot. And I shot twice, and that thing flopped right down. We started celebrating. Water, we were in the middle of that slough at that point. But we had a great time.
Why you shoot twice, Ian?
He didn't want to take the risk of the bird getting up and running off.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep. That's the
because you
same thing I
missed.
said.
That's a normally good sign that he had read his customer and determined that.
Well,
we'll just leave it at that. How about
look
that?
here. I give him. I love talking to him halfway through turkey season because I'm always like, all right, tell me your numbers, blah blah blah. I want to hear how he's done. And he's like, well, and then he starts telling me the stories of the ones that miss. And that's, I mean, you know, the percentage of shots, and I know we are talking about pins, fur, and feathers, and we're talking about shooting, but the percentage of shots that he gets his customers on, the clients on,
It's unbelievable.
are unbelievable.
Yeah. He's as good as there is in the country, as far as I'm concerned.
And absolutely. And
He's a
I
good
know
outdoorsman.
he belly crawled like that morning, like I guess, where we started was about 10 miles away. And he belly crawled with that decoy, which at this point in time, I was brand new to turkey hunting. And now I know. But, he belly crawled with that decoy in his hand. And I'm thinking, what does he do? And I thought we had to hide in the woods and everything else. That bird couldn't see him. All he was paying attention to was that decoy in his hand.
That's right.
And their depth perception is so bad.
The videos he's made doing that, holding that decoy, has been incredible.
They are incredible. But anyway, we are here to talk about, let's talk about the tournament. I've said U.S. Juniors, is that right? Is that?
Junior U.S. Open.
Junior U.S. Open. All right. And we got, a couple hundred kids here?
We've got we'll be a little over 470.
400.
Just shy of 500.
Wow. And they're representing all
over the
states?
country.
Okay. We have anybody from out of the country?
No, sir.
No.
Everybody's in the country, but I haven't seen the completed list yet, but I'm aware of Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and as far south as Florida and everywhere in between.
Now, the sport of shooting has become really big in youth.
It has become really popular. There's a lot of different organizations that support youth shooting, such as 4-H, SCTP, which is called the Scholastic Clay Target Program. We have a pretty big program here in South Carolina called South Carolina Youth Shooting Foundation. There's wildlife agencies such as here in South Carolina, we have DNR, the Department of Natural Resources.
Right.
They have their own organization, events for youth. So it's growing popular, more and more popular. And now it has the last several years bled over into collegiate division. So now there's such thing as recruiting youth for colleges. So it's a really great program that is really good for the youth. It allows them opportunity to get outdoors, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy firearm handling safely. Meeting other youth from around the country is a great experience for them. And like I say, it's keeps them off the phones and the video games, and that's something that I try to push hard for. And I think it's good for the youth to do something to get outdoors, enjoy what we all grew up, enjoy doing, and it's just a great program for them to meet other youth, and the parents are thoroughly enjoy it. It's it's like a major league youth baseball game, a soccer game, a football game that may be going on without all the drama that you may see at a little league baseball game by the ump's bad call, maybe. But
Amen.
We don't experience that type stuff normally in these events, and
there's no arguing. There's no arguing with a referee when you miss your target.
Absolutely, it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry.
That's right.
Now, when you started, how long ago did you start Backwoods?
1992. Actually, I started the hunting operation in 1990, which kind of a graduation from utilizing the family farm that my father started as a hobby back in the 70s for his farm labor to have something to do in the winter months. I got out of high school and had lived and breathed hunting and fishing, and really didn't have school on the front burner. And
right.
As I say, I tell a lot of people that every day that lived and breathed hunting and fishing, and my grades kind of reflected. So we'll leave it at that. But anyway, I didn't go to college. I went straight to work and took the family farm and made it a commercial hunting operation. In 92, I was introduced to the game sporting clays, and which we're doing here this weekend with the youth. And It was in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Was the first gun club that I was introduced to for clay target shooting, and I couldn't get home fast enough to create my own. And as I say, the rest is history. I've been at it ever since.
That's right. And I tell you, this place has grown exponentially. Did you ever, when you first opened it up, I mean, when was it that you started envisioning having, I mean, let's talk, the U.S. Open you had out last year was unbelievable. I mean, I drove past here and I was like, I need to pull in, go in and just watch this thing, but I couldn't find a parking spot.
Right.
It was
and we're in the middle of the country.
Yeah. It was unbelievable, English. It was. It really was. It was one of the best shoots I ever been to. And I'm not just saying that because you're sitting across the table. I mean, really, it was really well ran, great people. I mean, the kids had a good time. Yeah, hard targets, whatever, but it was a great tournament.
Did you compete in it?
Yeah, you could say that.
Define compete.
Yeah.
So
He
wait a
was- he
minute.
was present.
So are you that coach that you say, do as I say, not as I do?
Well, at this point, my kids and most of the kids on our team, they can beat me. So no, that has nothing to do with it. All of our kids are, they do real well shooting, and it's not because of me. It's because they have the drive to do it themselves.
And Jimmy's, I've got some great video and pictures of Jimmy's. Is that your only two?
That's my only two kids.
Graham and Mary Claire.
Yep.
Mary Claire hunts. She probably hunts too. I would guess she's your daughter, but she shoots for Clemson University's team.
Yes, sir. Yep. So does Scott's. Scott's son shoots for Clemson.
That's right. Yep. I met him earlier. What was his name?
Sam.
Sam. That's
Sam,
right.
yep.
That was Sam. All right.
My
Sam.
youngest.
Yep, met Sam earlier, and that is Scott. Real quick, let's talk about your business and what you own. I tell you what, you can't go many places and not see a hat, a shirt, or anything. I was super excited when Jimmy came in, and I'll be honest with you. He said, "You mind if I have Sam on?" Man, Scott, I said, "Heck no, bring him on." Dude, listen, I fish with a youth angler in SKA now. And I think he was completely decked out in HeyBo when we went.
Good thing.
When we went fishing. How in the world did you get into apparel?
Kind of the same thing. In the early 90s, I started a screen printing company. I was 20 years old. Started a screen printing company. I didn't do that well in school and ended up on a lawnmower golf course.
Which golf course?
And at Pine Tuck Golf Course in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
I'm familiar with it.
Worked my way up into the clubhouse. That was a promotion.
Yep.
Anyway, met a fella, gave me a job in a screen printing shop. Learned how to print T-shirts. At 20, I started my own. And in the early 90s, Rock Hill's south of Charlotte, and in the early 90s, NASCAR was exploding. We started picking up a lot of NASCAR business, and at aged 25, we signed a couple NASCAR drivers, had their merchandise rights, and at 28, I had about 6 NASCAR driver merchandise rights, and traveling all 38 races a year, traveling all over the country. This is back in the heyday, but so that's how I got into it, and it was a good time. Learned a lot, and sold that business in 2003, and started. Went back to printing apparel. Was bored. Love hunting and fishing.
I've read where you love timber hunting.
I love timber hunting. I love duck hunting is my thing. I love duck hunting. We got a little place in Arkansas, and we spend a little time out there. But started HeyBo was just kind of a way to fund my hunting and fishing habit, I guess you could say. And it's just grown. We started in 2011 selling a few T-shirts. We're full blown, top head
Absolutely.
Clothing, pants, shirts, you name it. It's been great.
Now, have you got some stuff in the fishing realm too?
We do.
Okay.
We've got fishing shorts, we've got performance tees. We're head to toe, and fishing shirts, and then on the what we call the fall side, everything from flannels, outerwear, wax jackets, field pants, you name it. It's grown. So what started as a T-shirt, we're blessed. We got a great little group. We're a small little company in Chester, South Carolina. We've got a great group of employees. We sell at about 350 retailers, mostly east of the Mississippi.
Right.
And independent retailers. And it's been
now,
great.
do you stay exclusive with independent retailers, or do you stay away from the box stores?
We did a little business with box stores, and we just decided that really wasn't where we wanted to be. How about
they try to control your price?
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to do some tackle stuff, and I was pretty much told what I was going to sell my tackle for.
Yeah, there's some great retail partners out there, and we just felt like it wasn't the direction our brand needed to be.
Well,
when we very loyal to what we call hook and bullet and lifestyle stores. They're independently owned. Most of them are multi-generational, and they're very loyal.
Yep.
And then we feel like that's our core customer base.
So you're at year 13, 12, going into 13,
yes,
12,
yes,
13.
Yeah.
And you and I both know, and I'm sure you see it pop up, and I'm sure your guys come to you like, oh, my gosh, have you seen this new line? This new line of shirts?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, sit back and relax.
Oh, yeah.
Because when it comes to that, they come and go every week, every month. I've got friends that wanted to start apparel companies, and they listen. Hook Soul. I'm not giving them a plug because they're don't exist anymore.
Right.
When they came out, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh," blah blah blah, and everybody was on it. And then all of a sudden, it just faded away. And I hate it for them, but it fades away. What's your secret?
You know, I don't know if we have a secret. I think we sell a sporting lifestyle brand. What what I feel like is to the working man, to the common man, we try to be very quality oriented.
Right.
We try to keep our price very price conscious, and we just try to stay true to our core customer.
Good quality gear
at affordable prices.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's I'm not sure it's a secret. And you're right, brands do come and go. We tell our people all the time, run your own race. Run your own race. Our sales reps will come in, same exactly what you just said, but run your own race. Take care of your customer. They'll take care of you. And I'm not sure there's a secret formula, but that's what we're trying to do.
And we're only, what are we now, a year and 4 months old with the podcast. And Stephen and I have had people will go, hey, did you see this new podcast? And it really sound like they're trying to copy you. I'm like, I don't care.
That's right.
Like we're our own thing. That's it. We're our own thing. And if I start worrying about what everybody else is doing, I'm gonna lose.
Stay in your lane.
That's right.
Exactly.
Stay
I'm gonna
in your
lose
lane.
touch with what's going on in mine.
That's right.
Staying in the right lane. Let's talk competition shooting. What's your investment in it? Why do you see it so important?
So I got involved as a parent in 2007, and as Rick said, South Carolina Shooting Foundation. Came in as a parent, became an assistant coach. Coached at a gun club. I got two boys, Jake and Sam. Jake's 22, fixed to be 23. Sam, 20, shoots at Clemson as well with Mary Claire. And they asked me to start a school start a team at the high school. So we started a team at the high school. This is my 6th year at the high school, and as the head coach there. And what amazes me, and Rick and Jimmy will tell you this, is we didn't have this opportunity growing up. None of us sitting here at this table had this opportunity.
Not a one of us.
But to think about the ability to come out here and compete as a team and to get involved in a sport that's as clean and that is, what Rick said, there's no electronics, there's not, that gets them off of that. That's just amazing. You can letter in high school in this sport. You can shoot for a club team. You can shoot for a school team. You can go to college and shoot.
Full rides.
Right.
There's colleges.
There are colleges offer full rides, and it's like Jimmy and I both tell you we got a raise. Our kids shoot at Clemson. We got a raise. I don't buy shells anymore. I don't buy travel anymore. I mean, we got a raise. It is, and it's an amazing experience to think that these kids can go to school. There is life beyond. They're shooting beyond, and it's an amazing opportunity. But what's amazing, as Rick will tell you, and these guys will tell you, you gather 500 kids or 700 kids or 800 kids, whatever it is at a tournament. This weekend, it'll be 500 kids here. And it's a safe event. And in the world we live in today, and they're carrying firearms, they treat them safely. I am much more nervous, I think these gentlemen would agree, at an adult event of 500 adults than I am at a youth event. These young athletes are so responsible. It is amazing what they do.
You just called them athletes, and there you go. They deserve it.
100%.
They absolutely deserve
100%.
it.
This is a mental game, and these gentlemen will tell you, anybody that hadn't gone out and shot 100 clays, and the difference between 85 clays and 95 clays, in my mind as a coach, is mental.
Right.
And also when you're having a bad day, the difference between shooting a 95 and an 80 is mental, not collapsing.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Right.
So
letting that one miss ruin your whole
100%
round.
100%.
We all grew up hunting, and we duck hunted and dove hunting. You go out in a dove field, you load 3 shells in the gun, doves come by, you go bam, 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 you either hit or miss him, and you move on. Here, you get 1 shot, 1 clay to make it count. So it's a whole different mentality than hunting situations.
Now, you took me out to watch your team and some of the other teams shoot. What was that exactly that we were watching?
We've stopped at the make or break and watched a little bit of that, and that's a really fun game. Anybody can get involved with it. I mean, Rick's got it as broken into different classes: JV, intermediate, varsity, collegiate, whatever. But it gets kids having fun times, music going. They can cut up between each other up there. That's what I think about this sport is Mary Claire started shooting when she was in the 6th grade. So we've made lifelong friends that they will have when they leave.
Exactly.
High school, college, shooting, whatever. I'm going to still call Rick my friend or Scott my friend, or we're going to go hang out other than even when our kids graduate and are done, we go.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah. So I think that's a whole big part of it too. I mean, it's a fun time, but it's all for the kids to promote gun safety, having fun, teamwork. I mean, these are there's team trophies or also, I mean, that's a big deal. To me, on our team, I don't care if they shoot the HOA. I'm liking it if you shoot the HOA, but I want everybody to get involved, everybody be talking at the station. I want everybody to help each other. The big kids, we shoot Annie Oakley here, and that's a big deal for the kids. All right, so there's college kids standing beside a 5th grader.
Yes.
That's fun.
That is cool. That's
Last night you had a senior in high school. What was there, 50 kids on the line out there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You had a senior in high school, and I don't know how old Connor Barnes is or what grade he's in.
Yeah.
And that senior come off the line and said, I just got beat by a little short guy. I don't know how old he was. I said, well, he's shooting a Craig off. He's pretty darn good, too. So I said, he's a really good shooter. But it's as Jimmy said, it's kind of an equalizer, and it's amazing to see that, your varsity young men and women can shoot against, like in make or break or Annie Oakley against, a middle school.
I didn't realize it really as much, I guess, when Graham was little, and this was before he could shoot, but Mary Claire was shooting. He used to get up there and he'd stare up at Chandler.
That's right.
Chandler was he wanted to beat Chandler. I mean, he couldn't even hold a shotgun, but I'm going to beat Chandler one day, right? So a couple years later, he ended up getting Chandler on the Annie Oakley and knocking him out. He thought that was the greatest thing. Looking up at Chandler like this, those little kids are looking up to those bigger kids and those college kids, kind of like you did at your T-ball game and, I don't know, Ken Griffey Jr. walk in, like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that part of it brings back the little kids are really taking in what they see from those older kids, and it really changes the way that they feel about it, the whole shooting sports.
Now, you have made a big difference in accessibility for the kids in Sumter County and in your area.
Sumter, Clarendon, Lee County, right around that little tribe.
And you have a team that runs out of Featherhorn Farms. You run out of Featherhorn Farms. Now, do you do the instructing and everything yourself?
We have 8 level 1 NSCA shooting instructors. They also are 4-H certified. They're also whatever the other one is, I can't think right this second.
SCYSF?
Yeah. So there's lots of training that you can go to and help. NSCA level 1, 2, 3 are really top shooters. What are you?
I'm a master class.
You master? Yeah. So, you get lots of experience for these kids at these kind of events. There's coaches. Scott can stop and see somebody up there. Hey, man, maybe you need to hold the gun a little bit out farther or something. I mean, I guess that just is from experience. But those kids are getting top of the line coaching, not just on our team, on Scott's team too. I mean, all these teams, every one of these teams here are. I mean, if you're at the Junior U.S. Open, you got to be able to hold your gun correctly and load your gun correctly and perform. Yeah. Really.
Now, will we have one overall champion here, or do we have? We'll have division.
Division is based on grade level. Your 5th and 6th graders are considered rookie division. Your 7th and 8th graders are considered intermediate division. 11th and 12th is JV division. 11th and 12th is varsity. 10th and 9th and 10th is JV. I apologize. And then you got the collegiate division. So we got 5 different divisions here. and we'll recognize the top 3 individual scores in each division, as well as top 3 teams in each division.
Now, how many people? Is there a certain number that you have to be in the team division?
A team consists of 3 to field a
okay.
full team, but that's not required. We have some teams that, due to whatever reason, last minute, the third teammate may not be able to come, so they come in as only 2, so they're probably not going to be eligible on the team level, but they still will be eligible on an individual awards basis. So, there's a lot of opportunity for everybody, and we have done some mix and matching where a team can only get 2, but we've got a team that has 1 extra that the grade levels match up, and we try to field them up to make a complete team. So we do that, try to help them in the registration process. And as we touch back on the make a break and the Annie Oakley stuff we were talking about, those are all side games.
That's right.
If you're referring to golf, those might be little par 3 events that goes alongside what everybody came for, the main event, so to speak. So there's always something going on for the youth to do, and they're just not sitting around with no opportunity to do anything throughout the day once they get through competing in their main event.
Right, and coming from the sport of golf, this sounds a lot like what I did growing up, and unfortunately in golf, other than high school and then on to college, there was no team stuff for me. Right. It was all individual. We're more worried about ourselves, and I think that has a lot to do with some of the golfers' attitude.
So, some of the things I think about English is these kids have the opportunity to not only shoot now while they're in high school or college or whatever, but this is a sport that they can take on and shoot when they're 50 or whatever.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like football where, I got to hang the cleats up. I probably won't, throw a pass again in a game. But, with shooting, there's tournaments all over the country. Rick hosts some of the best tournaments in the world right here in our state of South Carolina. So there's opportunities where they can not only shoot in high school and college, but then they can go on and let's take my granddaddy and let's go shoot for the weekend, or let's go, in just an afternoon, spend some time with them. You can take this sport to when you're old and ancient.
That's right. I love it.
You are.
I love it. Like me. I know.
Hey.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So one thing, too, I want to give a shout out because I met 2 of the nicest guys on my way in that talked to me for a while and then parked me. But I'm going to guess that you couldn't pull this off without the community.
Absolutely. It's unbelievable support I get from Georgetown, Williamsburg counties that want to come out and be a part of it. My members that come shoot 3, 4, 5 times a week, they're retirees, and this is what they enjoy doing for their hobby. On the weekend, they're doing something with the spouses, but I'll see them 3 or 4 times a week. Well, they're not eligible for this event because it's youth-oriented. So how can we be part of it? Rick, what can we do for you? How can we help you? Well, they coming out and volunteer their time to park cars for me, or, clean golf carts or rental golf carts or whatever it needs to be. So just the support I get from the community. I mean, who would have ever dreamed that in Rims, South Carolina?
I was getting ready to say, do you use Hemingway
Well, I
since
have
it's close?
to use Georgetown for address, for mailing address,
That's right.
but I'm still considered Rims. My mother was a Rim, so my background is this area. And, I just never dreamed when I started this, when I got out of high school, that at that time we did not have internet. We did not have social media, so we did not know a lot about this sport. So when I first found out about the game Sporting Clays by attending that first gun club in Spartanburg, South Carolina in 1992, I had picked up a magazine. Our sanctioning body for adults is the NSCA, which is National Sporting Clays Association, based out of San Antonio, Texas. I found a magazine laid in that gun club. I picked it up, brought it home. As I'm reading it, I found in the back a little bit of one little block ad that says course designed by a guy by the name of John Kruger. At that time, John was in Des Moines, Iowa, and I hired him to come design my original course. But, at that time, we didn't have social media. We didn't know where to buy targets. We didn't know where to buy shells. We didn't know anything about the sport. So going from that period of time to where we are today, where you just wrote the magazine and back in 92, 93 and read about these clubs that was having 150 people or 250 people was about the max you'd ever see at the largest event, at the largest gun clubs in the country. And you dreamed about going to those facilities, to see their facilities, to go from that level to today. We are that facility. This is what everybody wants to come see. We have set a precedent by how we operate events. you know, and what I've built, surrounded myself by really good staff to make me successful. Unfortunately, I get all the credit, but my staff is what really makes Backwoods click. But the community, the volunteers, the Southern hospitality, that's what money can't buy, and that's what Backwoods provides that other clubs and other shooters from around the country just love to come to Backwoods Quail Club for. It's way more. It goes way more beyond shooters. They'll go to restaurants in Georgetown or motels in Georgetown or Pawleys Island or King Street.
Amen.
And
you're huge for the county.
all the
by the
people
way.
they find out they're Backwoods. Oh, thank you for coming. They just got that attitude and that support that I've received has been so successful to Backwoods Quail Club.
Yeah, and I'll tell you real quick, my friends own Hidden Marina Campground over in Georgetown on the Sanpit River, which a lot of people don't know about, unfortunately. And when I called her during the U.S. Open, the week before the U.S. Open, normally I can call her up and get a spot real quick. Mm-hmm. She said, no, I am booked up. And I said, what? She said, for a Backwoods Quail Club event. And that's when I found out about the U.S. Open, of course, came through town. Scott, real quick, how do your kids, do you have a place similar to Jimmy's or here in Chester? Or?
So we kind of had a little private facility on my farm kind of growing up, but not obviously extent of what these guys have. And, when my kids got involved, one of Rick's, part of what Rick services here at Backwoods is he can provide machines and set things up. So we bought a lot of equipment from Rick, and they set up a little private facility for us. And the nice thing, kids come home for football or baseball, whatever it is they did, and they can still shoot. Versus, having to travel somewhere and go to a facility. We're 3 hours up the road. But at our school, our team, 2 years ago, we actually, with Rick's help, we built our own private practice facility. We've got some land that was donated to us, and we've got some brand new machines. I mean, it's really nice. So our kids, we raise a lot of money, fundraising, sponsorships, fundraising. We sell tickets. We do a big gun drawing every year, that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, our kids practice for free. They have to go with a trained, certified coach, but they can go 7 days a week to practice at our own school facility. And
that's why he's got one of the best programs in the state.
That's great.
We got a great group of kids, great group of parents. They, as these guys will tell you, they make it look easy. These guys they're phenomenal, and they realize what it takes to go out and get it done. And it starts. That competitiveness starts with a good group of people.
Yep.
Seriously. So
Graham used to want to beat Mary Claire. That's all he wanted. I'm gonna beat her. I'm gonna beat her. Even when he could barely hold the shotgun. I'm gonna beat her. I'm gonna beat sister. That's what he used to call her. And that's driven him to that and shooting against mud. Rick's son ain't good too. So don't let him be humble about that.
How old's your son?
16.
Okay, so he's in this.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta beat him, huh?
Indeed.
He's pretty phenomenal.
I gotta beat him. But the apple don't fall far from the tree. I'm sure.
He takes after his mama.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he looks like his mama. Then that's good.
Yeah.
So real quick, and then we'll finish up. But real quick, accessibility for those that may not be as fortunate. All right, are there some options out there?
Well, there's a number of opportunities. Obviously start with, if you can't find what you're looking for on Google, don't hesitate to call me at Backwoods. I'm glad to help you in any way, no matter what part of the country you're from. If you're interested in shooting in way, shape, or form, or getting youth involved, I'm more than glad to help. But there's a South Carolina Youth Shooting Foundation, SCYSF.org, I think it is, here in South Carolina, is a great website to go to. Feel free to call them, email them. They're more than happy to help here in South Carolina. On a national level, the SCTP, Scholastic Clay Target Program, again, 4-H is in about every state to some extent. Yep. Just some states have more support than others in some of these divisions, but there's a lot of opportunities to get well educated on how to start a team or get involved with an existing team.
I'll tell you what, 4-H is an incredible group, and I wish I had time to tell y'all a Florida story where I went down with Lucas Williams, the family that owns Lost She, down the street to their ranch down there, and met a 14-year-old, two 15-year-olds, and a 16-year-old down there that they said, come go hog hunting with us. So I said, okay, sure, what are we going to do? I'm thinking we're going to shoot them or something. They're like, well, we got a big hunting preserve near here that buys hogs from us. And so they were chasing these things down with dogs, getting on top of them, tying them up, and throwing them in the back of the truck. Now, this hog hunting place, I looked it up. I already found out how much their guided hunts are. $500 for a meat hunt, $700 for a trophy hunt. All right, and you can figure what this place is. They're all fenced up, and you go pay your fee. You stand in the stand. I mean, listen, I'll never do a podcast at this place, but I'll just tell you. So they open the gate, and they send out which hog you want, whether you paid the $500 or the $700. All right, these boys are getting $25 a hog. And let me tell you, one of them had a big gash across here that required stitches because in those palms down there, he had to get on his hands and knees to get to the hog. Yeah. And that hog came running straight at him and split him wide open right here. $25 a piece, and them boys were the happiest. They were so dirty, but I got the best video. I had so much fun watching it. But that's a different breed.
They're tough.
And so they invited me to come to the fair that night. So we took my kids and everything and went to the fair because they had been raising pigs their own for 4-H to sell at auction. And then to go and walk through this and just hear these kids talking, telling stories about this hog pig that they've raised and all that's gone into it, and that thing's going to get auctioned tomorrow or whatever. Yeah. And they get to put all that money in their pocket.
Yeah,
that's right.
But they can't keep it.
That's right.
That is the absolute number one rule. Yeah. And I heard some funny stories about that. Rich parents trying to buy the pig back and keep it. And they weren't able to. But 4-H Club's incredible. And I grew up in Lake City, so I know we had 4-H there. I know we did. And FFA, the Future Farmers of America. But the 4-H is huge, and I'll need to try and get some information on that to get it out there. But I want to thank Rick. I want to thank Scott. I want to thank Jimmy for sitting in. Jimmy, you don't go nowhere because we got to go get some of the kids together. But I know y'all got a lot to do, and thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely, Rick. It's a pleasure to be down here.
Yeah,
and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to ask you this last. All right. My wife came up with this last year.
Okay.
She wanted to know, do you own Hey Dude?
I do not own Hey Dude. I wish I did.
Because she said we were actually in Florida, I think, when she said it. But there were we were in an outdoor store, and your clothes were in there, and then we saw the Hey Dudes, and it just came up in conversation. It's like, I wonder if they own Hey Dudes too.
That'd have been a pretty smart move, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been smart. I'm not that smart, Jimmy. Somebody beat me to it.
It would have been.
It would have been.
All right.
Anyway,
well, listen. Hey, thank y'all so much for your time, and we're going to take a break real quick. Let's hear some words from Freeman Boat Works, and we come back on the other side. We'll get some of these shooters in here. Anyway, you listen to Trilogy Outdoors, Fin, Spur, and Feathers. You're going to find it right here. Freeman Boat Works and Trilogy Outdoors are proud to announce the addition of Freeman Boat Works to our family of incredible partners. Billy Freeman and his team at Freeman Boat Works epitomize the American dream. From building the first boat in Billy's backyard to a 150,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing plant over the past 15 years, they are building one of the most sought-after boats in the U.S. and beyond. These incredible fishing platforms are built in South Carolina and are second to none in stability, speed, and performance overall. These catamaran designs are engineered not only to get you to the fish fast, but comfortably too. Years of refining designs and pioneering the modern performance fishing catamaran is why Freeman Boat Works is the #1 choice for some of the biggest names in the fishing industry. If it's long runs in the Gulf or the Carolinas, or days you can go fishing in South Florida when most center consoles stay at the dock, Freeman Boat Works is at the forefront in all categories. For more information on Freeman Boat Works and their 6 available models, visit www.freemanboatworks.com. Redefine your expectations.
For over 8 years, GovWorld Auctions has been solving surplus issues for municipalities and counties in South Carolina and beyond. Their turnkey customer service has made them one of the best in the business here in the U.S., and they are located right here in our home state of South Carolina. If you're looking for tractors, heavy machines, and vehicles, just to name a few, our partners at GovWorld have you covered. The process is simple, and their experts will come to you to inspect, photograph, and video all items before they make them available to everyone in the world for the bidding process. GovWorld online auctions are supported by mailers, emails, and promotion to the biggest buyers in the country, and they get results and the highest dollar possible for your items. Don't go out of state to another auction company. Support business here in South Carolina and let GovWorld get you top dollar for your items and put the money back in your city, municipality, or county. Give GovWorld a call or visit their website, govworld.com, for more info and to set up a visit with one of their experts to get you in the next auction. Don't let valuable items just sit behind a fence. Give GovWorld a call and start turning them into money today. Recently, Senator Goldfinch and myself were introduced to Healthy Cell and their incredible line of products. Stephen started on a regimen of taking Focus and Recall after each daily workout to help his body recover from the physical demand of a workout and to help boost his focus and brain power that he needs on long days on the Senate floor. For myself, the last few years, I've been struggling to get the recommended amount of vitamins and nutrients in my body due to decreased appetite. When I was introduced to Bioactive Multi, I was excited to start a daily regimen that I felt would help my performance both on and off the water and would give me more energy to get through long days and increase my productivity. With Bioactive Multi, I know that I am getting the FDA daily recommended amounts, and with the mixed berry flavor and the ease of swallowing, my body is able to absorb these vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants through the proprietary gel format that Healthy Cell has created. This allows my body to quickly absorb and start using these valuable nutrients to help me get through long, busy days, just like we all go through in our daily lives. Go visit healthycell.com/trilogy and use our promo code TRILOGY, all caps, to receive 20% off of your first order and start living a better life today.
All right, folks, we are back at Trilogy Outdoors. Well, actually, we're not in Trilogy Outdoors. We're Backwoods, hanging out here, and we finally got some competitors. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Jimmy had to go out and beg. Well, I think we even had to pay some of these guests to come on. Mary Claire, I think we had to pay them to come on, but we do have some guests on board real quick. And now I'm gonna let you tell. Let's go around just like we practiced. Tell everybody who you are and what school you're with.
I'm Mary Claire Lee and shoot on Clemson shotgun team.
Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that out there? Clemson Tigers, baby. Clemson Tigers. Hang on. I got something for that. Hang on. Let me get to it. My new contacts are killing me. Hang on. There we go. All right, moving on.
I'm Banks Welts, and I shoot with Featherhorn.
There we go.
My name is Chase Berger. I shoot on the Forest City Juniors.
Forest City Juniors. Now, where's that out of?
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. And your age?
I'm 16.
15?
15.
16? Huh?
15.
15?
20.
20. All right. And you actually shoot on a college shooting team.
Yes, sir.
Now, your dad and I were talking about it. They didn't have anything fun like that when we were in college. I think we'd probably still be in college if they did. I say the same thing about the bass teams in college now. If they still had that, I'd probably still be in college. How long you been competing?
I'm a junior this year, so 3 years.
3 years at Clemson, but now prior to that, you competed, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Since about 6th grade.
6th grade. Good Lord. Have you won any state championships or anything like that?
Couple.
Wow. Now, as a lady, do you have to compete against the boys?
Yes, sir.
That's even better. I'm going to guess it's like fishing. Y'all probably shoot better than men anyway.
Most times.
Most times. I know. I watched you embarrass your brother earlier, by the way. and where I don't know where Graham is. Why is he hiding from us? I thought he was going to come in and hang out.
Yeah, I got replaced.
You're all right. Well, let's talk about you real quick. How long you been competing?
Probably going on 6, 7 years now, something like that.
Wow. You enjoy it, obviously.
Yes, sir.
You want to do it in college?
Most likely.
Have you already? Have you started looking at colleges for it, or
No.
I don't know how that works. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm just learning that you can actually get some scholarships and stuff to do this.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. I played golf growing up. It's boring sport. You know,
I
it
play a
really
little bit of
is.
golf.
Huh? You do?
Yes, sir.
Now, where you play when you play?
I play at Lakewood, Crystal Lakes, and all over Sumter.
Sumter.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Y'all got some great courses down there. And how about you? How long you been competing?
About 5 or 6 years.
Wow. So you started young.
Yes, sir. About 6th grade.
Wow. You won any state titles or anything like that?
Yes, sir. A few.
Wow, a few. Y'all are killing me. So who's the best shot out of three of y'all?
Me.
Thanks.
I'm just going to say real quick that Mr. Clyburn held his hand up over there in the corner. And he's also, by the way, wearing a Clemson jersey, too, as well. Forest City boys from Savannah are pretty good. Now, where do you shoot down there? Do y'all is it Forest City?
Forest
Is that
City
the
Gun
name?
Club, yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So is that a place like Backwoods? Help me out, educate me.
Yes, sir. It's one of the oldest gun clubs in the nation. We've got like 25 skeet and trap fields and 2 sporting class courses.
Wow. Now, how many people are on your team?
I want to say over 80, 90.
Good Lord, Jimmy. Wow. 80 or 90.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. So your team is just associated with that. You're not with a school. You're not associated with a school as well.
No, sir. We're just a club team. But in our local area, there's a bunch of schools that combine of our team, and we all shoot together.
Oh, great.
So
Great. And what school are you at?
I go to Lawrence Manning Academy
Okay.
in Manning.
Right. I know exactly where that is. Now, do y'all hunt too, or do y'all just like to shoot them doggone little orange clays?
I do everything. Fish, hunt, anything.
Mary Claire, you hunt?
Growing up doing it.
Well, I don't know how you couldn't
I
have.
know.
I don't want to tell anybody, but your daddy's got this couple little ducks that fly in out there every now and then during duck season. And I'm sure he's got turkeys and stuff down there too,
yeah.
but he don't ever tell me about those. No, but I tell you what, it's incredible. I mean, is this the biggest competition that y'all been to, or have y'all been to this competition, the nationals, like in other places?
Yes, sir.
You have.
I just went to Texas for our nationals.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Is that a college? Oh, really? How'd y'all do?
We got runners up.
Runners up. How many colleges were there? 40 something? That's big. That's good. And I'm going to guess it's not recognized by NCAA, just like fishing isn't yet. Yeah, go figure. We're working on that with fishing too. A good friend of mine won the national championship bass fishing for Coastal this year. Won it for Coastal, and they have no scholarships or anything down there yet, but they're working on it. Let me see here. There we go. I almost pressed the wrong button there. I'm bad at that, by the way, at pressing the wrong buttons. You'll understand. But we did talk earlier. Rick said that getting y'all out shooting makes it, gets you away from the computers and all that other stuff. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I wish I would have been sitting in front of a computer growing up a lot more now that I have to use one for business. But let's talk about the what was the game I watched you and Graham shoot?
Make or break.
I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of it. How'd you end up scoring?
I let him beat me that time.
You let him? Mm-hmm. Was that on purpose? Mm-hmm. We do that for our little I've got 2 younger brothers, and in golf I used to do that every now and then, or at least I would always tell them that when they beat me. How did you do over there?
Not too hot.
Not too hot?
No.
I watched you. You weren't very happy.
No.
Did you shoot it yet?
I haven't shot yet.
You hadn't shot yet?
Yes, sir. I just got here.
So high score is 50 something? Is that perfect?
54, right? Or 57? 52.
52. That's the most you can score. So that means you obviously hit every first one, and then you hit the second. You hit every single one.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
60.
How much?
62.
62. Wow.
And 52 is the highest right now.
58.
58?
So we were talking. You were shooting an over-under, right? You're shooting an over-under. You were shooting automatic.
Yes, sir.
Was it you and I that were talking about the difference in the
Yes,
two and
sir.
why you choose the automatic? I mean, do you feel one shoots better than the other? I'm getting technical here, aren't I?
Just preference.
Or am I really getting technical, or is it not? It's a preference.
Yes, sir.
Is it all about the recoil? Do you feel that messes you up or helps you?
In
Or
my case, yeah.
how about you?
It really.
I think you were telling me, wasn't you
I like
and
an
talking?
I like an automatic better than anything.
Because you're going to shoot a lot during the day, right?
Yes.
How many times are y'all going to shoot on a given day right now during the competition? Do you know?
100 a day, but like at the end it's anywhere from 400 to 500.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot, man. What kind of guns do y'all shoot?
Over and under.
You shoot over under as well?
Yes, sir.
Who makes it?
Fat Barn.
Okay. Is that a smaller? Is that a company that does it just for?
Yeah,
ski?
Italian.
I'm trying to get educated
Yeah,
on.
they're owned by Caesar Greeny.
Okay. What do you shoot? Beretta?
Yes, sir. A400.
And you shoot a Beretta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. There's a lot of money in them guns. I asked your dad, and I'm not going to say it, how much he told me your gun's worth, but oh my goodness. But it's like a set of golf clubs anymore. Or if you go fishing, you got to have a boat, you got to have all that. It's expensive. So you got how many years left? 2 at Clemson?
Yes, sir.
2 years. You going to get into shooting after that? You're going to continue shooting? Is there professional ranks that you can go into or anything like that? Or y'all shooting for money now? Y'all can win money now, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Can I put some money on y'all? Can I bet on somebody or something? They allow that here?
Oh, yeah.
I brought some cash if I can. I'm definitely not going to bet on your dad because I duck hunted with him this year, and I'm not betting on him. You expect the guide to be like the cleanup person?
Yeah.
No, he didn't do a good job. He didn't do a good job. His last name isn't Avens. You know, Dale does a good job. Y'all know Mr. Dale, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dale does a good job when he's cleaning up, but your daddy doesn't do a good job. Is it really? It should be.
Should be.
It should be. He's a good man, by the way.
Yes, sir.
I have. That's how I met your dad. But your dad did embarrass me. We played Annie Oakley over there, and they did embarrass me pretty bad. I didn't know how it worked. I did. I'm a terrible shot. Trust me. As I'm sitting here dealing with two new contacts, and you'll notice me squinting and closing one eye and the other. They gave me one for long and one for up close, and I'm having the worst nightmare trying to get used to it. So, if I didn't have that issue, I would have probably paid the $5 just to shoot, so y'all could laugh at me. But since I can't see right now, 10 yards in front of me, I didn't want to shoot the guy pulling the clay, letting him go. All right, so let's see what else. So y'all, what else can we talk about here? Anybody want to give a shout out? You got sponsors? Your dad was telling me y'all get sponsors and stuff now, like the team does. Team has sponsors. Y'all have anybody you need to give a shout out to on here? Like you already gave your gun company. I'm gonna guess, is that them on your hat? Is that?
No, this is just a local guy that supports me.
That's nice logo.
N.W. White and C.R. Jackson and Arbor One.
Arbor One. That's a great group. Yeah, they're a great group. Hang on, gotta go over there.
And McLean and Associates Incorporated.
Look at there. And hang on.
And B&B Porter Johns.
Oh,
Go taller, Mr. Boo.
It's all about number two. I bet they're number one in the number two business, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we got some other ones lined up over here. I'm going to try and get them over here as well. I want to wish y'all the best of luck, okay? Y'all get out there, shoot straight, and hope you kill them all.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you say it, kill them all?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds
like
good,
that.
don't it? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, here we are back. Got a couple more guests here, a couple more competitive shooters, and we're going to go through and let them introduce themselves, and we're going to talk a little bit about their teams and their abilities and their accolades and what they're looking at, how they want to perform this weekend, how they think they're going to perform. I know Graham over here thinks he's going to win already. He told me.
Always.
I heard he's on fire though. I will say this: I did hear somebody came up, tapped me on the shoulder, and said that guy right there is shooting really good right now. So keep an eye on him. All right, young lady, let's tell us where you from.
I am from Sumter, South Carolina.
And your name?
Lizzie Artis.
Lizzie. Miss Lizzie is in the house. That's right. She shoots for Featherhorn, by the way. All right. You come on, brother.
I'm from Chester and shoot for Clemson.
And
Sam
that is Sam Clyburn.
Yes, sir.
That would be Mr. HeyBo, son. And you look a lot like your dad, just a hair. Just a hair. I know our kids are, mine, Jimmy's, and Scott's kids are, unfortunately, they look like us. And speaking of another one that looks like his dad, give us your name.
My name's Graham Lee, and we live in Summerton, South Carolina.
Yeah, you do. I've been near your house. I stayed at your Featherhorn Farm over there. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I left my iPad there 4 months ago. Let me tell you what life without my iPad's been like. It's been terrible. But somehow or another, somebody turned it in.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. But I now have my iPad back. And I'm looking forward to getting back on it and being able to use it. And you're a pretty good shot, dude. You look good. I watched your form. It looks good. I don't think I need to work with you on anything. And I didn't get to watch you shoot. But you have Clemson on your jersey, so we're okay.
Yeah. Rumor has it the other Clyburn shoots better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Turns out I taught Graham everything he knows, and then he taught it to Jimmy. So really it all comes from me.
That's perfect. Yeah. Now, what year are you at Clemson?
Going into my junior year.
Junior year?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you started shooting young age. Your dad and I were talking. You started shooting young age.
Yes, sir.
And you like to hunt, too, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
And y'all all three of y'all like to hunt as well?
Sir.
Not just shooting them orange clays, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. What's your favorite thing to hunt?
Probably doves.
Doves?
Yeah.
That's good. That's probably better for you than ducks. Ducks are easy to shoot. Easy or hard? What do y'all think?
Harder.
Depends on where you're at.
Oh, crazy.
Depends on if you're with Jimmy Lee and the ringnecks start coming in. Ringnecks are hard to shoot.
I mean, yeah, they're just fast.
Well, wait a minute. They're hard to shoot if you shoot them flying. If you shoot them when they're putting their feet down in the decoys, which some of us can't wait for, they're a little bit easier to shoot. That's for sure. And do y'all do any turkey hunting at all?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
That's my turkey hunting buddy right there.
Who calls, you or him?
Him.
Really? Have you learned to call yet?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
His granddad makes turkey calls, so he, he's
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Diaphragm or slate or what?
slate calls.
Nice.
Box calls.
I like a box and a slate call. Those are my two favorite. I got my start in turkey hunting right here. First time I ever went turkey hunting, I was 45, 44. I'm giving away my age. Who cares? 44. And I learned it here. And then after going that one day, I said, I'm going to learn to call. That was my one thing. And now I don't even care about shooting. I don't care about pulling the trigger. I'd rather whoever with me get to enjoy a bird coming in and getting to kill it. And I think that's how almost any turkey hunter is. Once they get into it, they realize that it's a lot more fun to do the calling than the shooting anyway, to outsmart them. They're smart birds, though.
Oh, yeah.
They are. They are really smart. Now, you go to college and shoot, you think?
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably not.
Uh-oh.
No.
Probably not. You're gonna go right to working, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Marines or something.
Oh, my God.
His mom would not let him.
Go into the Marines?
No, sir.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty cool. Listen, I got nothing but love, and my partner, who would be sitting here with us, he's leaving for Africa tomorrow with the Army. I got nothing but love for military, and it's a great choice, trust me. And if you don't, I'm telling you from somebody who had 4 freshman years in college, 4. They were the best 4 years of my life. But if you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. Don't waste mommy and daddy's money. Don't waste your money. There's a lot of other options, as we talked about earlier on the podcast. There's a lot of other options than having to go to school. But if you do go to school, choose Clemson. It is an incredible university, and I am pissing off every Gamecock that listens to the podcast, but they'll get over it.
There's 2 in the room at the moment, actually.
That's fine. We love Gamecocks. Listen, I actually am one of those weird Clemson guys that pulls for Carolina when they're not playing Clemson. I don't ever wish death on them. I don't wish loss on them.
That.
Really?
Every week we're wishing loss on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me shut up. Let me shut up. You going to go to college and shoot?
Yes, sir.
You are?
I am.
Where do you want to go?
I'm going to Clemson.
No way. You already are?
Well, depends on who you ask.
That is great. Good.
Well, Mary Claire got in, and I have better grades than her by far.
Oh,
so-
bam. Throwing Mary Claire under the bus already.
Well, she is in the room, and it is true.
All right, so real quick. So who shoots better?
Mippy.
Really?
That's such a lie. You
Oh.
know it.
Y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong. I'm asking the wrong questions. And you are a junior?
I'm going in my senior year.
You're going
of high
into your
school.
senior year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you better make that decision, right? Yeah.
It's already been made for me.
Oh, she looks. Jimmy, go Tigers. I love it. Hey, I'll tell you, it's a great place up there in those hills. And even though I didn't go to school there, I went to Princess Marion. Don't go there, whatever you do. I went to Princess Marion.
My brother's in Francis Mary.
Huh?
My brother goes to Francis Mary.
Does he? Okay, well, maybe it's changed a little bit. But I'm going to tell you that coming from I only went 30 minutes away from my house. I grew up in Lake City. So it wasn't far enough for me to get away. I should have gone somewhere else. But I wasn't smart enough to get in Clemson. And I turned down a scholarship to Citadel like a dummy. If I'd have gone to Citadel, I wouldn't be sitting. If I'd have gone to Citadel, I wouldn't be sitting here doing a podcast with y'all.
Preston's going to the Citadel.
You are? Good job. Congratulations. You can't go wrong down there, that's for sure. They got a brotherhood and a fraternity that take care of each other when they come out. Just make sure you finish school. My partner actually went to Citadel too, and that's why he followed up with Citadel and joined the Army Reserve. So you can't go wrong with that. That's a great decision. All right, so how's everybody shooting right now? I did hear from a little birdie that your game's on right now.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good.
Are you optimistic about the weekend?
Always.
He's very full of himself.
He's very
Let's
full of
be
himself?
honest.
Probably the cockiest
Let's
person
be
here
honest.
this week.
Really?
Yeah.
He is.
So he absolutely has to get that from his mama, because I know that doesn't
No,
come
he gets
from
it
his
straight
daddy.
from his dad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Jimmy Lee up and down.
Oh. Boy, they're throwing Coach under the bus over there. Well, how about you? How you shooting?
We're gonna find out at 2:30. I've only shot practice on the 5 sand twice so far, and
oh boy,
it's been iffy.
Now, y'all. So competitions in 2:30, right? 3 is when y'all all start.
Yes, sir.
So 2:30 for you guys, but you're not in with them because you're with Clemson, right?
Same rotation. I'll start
Okay.
at 2:30. Yes, sir.
Same course, just different
Classes.
level.
Yeah.
Okay. And what level are you in?
Senior varsity.
Senior varsity. So it goes off years. That's right. We talked about it already. And what year are you?
I'm in JV.
JV.
Yes, sir.
So you're 8th grade?
No.
Ninth?
Going into 10th.
Going into the 10th. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, you're tall, dude. You could have been 27. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So good. So who is the best person who's the best shooter, most decorated shooter at Featherhorn Farms?
Like the best shot?
I'm not saying like personality-wise like you feel like you are. I'm saying who's got the most trophies.
Most trophies?
Yep.
Don't even.
What? From who? You?
Yeah.
Go read half of those on the wall.
Probably Mary Claire.
Mary Claire? Now, where can I find them? Next time I go to Featherhorn, which I'm hoping, Jimmy, I'm going to actually, what I've decided to do is I'm going to put my iPad back in your dad's truck, and I'm going to let him take it back with him, and then I'm going to remember it come duck season and say, Jimmy, I got to come get my iPad. I'll be there tomorrow morning on a day that you're going to duck hunt. But So where would I find all those? Are they at Featherhorn? Is that where y'all got the walls decorated with them?
Yes, sir. They're right there by his office.
Oh, awesome.
His office.
Well, then you know they're Mary Claire's if they're by his office.
Yeah.
Definitely not yours.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, listen, I tell you what, it's been great sitting down with y'all. I wish all of y'all the best of luck. I know y'all got like an hour to get ready, so I'm going to let y'all get mentally ready and everything, and I'm going to get your dad back over here with me to finish things up. But best of luck to y'all. Thank y'all for taking the time. I know everybody wasn't looking forward to it, but y'all did great. Let's see. Jimmy, you've lined us up some more guests.
Yeah, man.
Who we got over here?
All right, we got my buddy Chandler Gray.
Yep.
DNR officer, but also somebody that I mentioned earlier that was kind of a big influence on Graham and also Mary Claire as they were growing up. Chandler's a phenomenal shooter, masterclass shooter.
Masterclass like Rick.
Yes.
Like Rick was, yeah.
He sure is. But he started with, SCYSF, SCTP stuff when he was young, and I let him.
Yeah, and you followed it and went into a career with DNR. You started in a career with DNR. Are you an officer?
I am a law enforcement officer now.
Where at?
I recently was in Charleston. I just moved back home.
Okay.
I was in Charleston County for the past 3 years now, and just came back to Orangeburg just to be close to my dad and start helping.
Wonderful. So you're in Orangeburg. So you know. So you're back at your home. This is your home area?
Yes, sir.
So you know all the tricks, don't you?
Yeah, growing up, running around.
So now all the locals are like, oh, boy, Chandler's back. We're in all right, y'all.
Chandler's in hot pursuit.
We have just gotten busted. So you work with Captain Mike. Is it Lieutenant Mike or Captain Mike that runs all those regions down there?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Mike, yeah. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Michael. Michael, he goes by. Yeah, I've done some work. We do some kids' rodeos, fishing rodeos.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And done some work with him where he's come to help us in Georgetown and Horry counties, which are his counties as well.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I tell you what, you guys got a hard job. DNR doesn't get near the credit. They don't get near the pay they deserve. You know, when you think about it, outside of fishing, everybody that you encounter pretty much has a gun.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And a lot of them are bad people. I mean, people, that
there are a lot of good people.
Right.
There are a lot of good people.
But that's the other side. Most are actually just good people out there having fun.
That's right. But there are a lot of those that have, listen, I grew up in Lake City. You grew up in Orangeburg. You know what I'm talking about. There are those people that grew up doing it their way, and they want to continue to do it their way. And, unfortunately, it takes a little bit of trouble to finally get them to realize what's right and wrong.
Right.
We were sitting on the river the other night out of packs and trying to catch a striper. I had, 4 or 5 kids on the boat. Green Jeans over here shows up, rolls up on us, and wants to check our license. Didn't realize we were all there, but we had everything in order, and it was all good. We didn't even have a fish, so he didn't have to look in the live.
There you go. That always makes it easier.
Yeah, yes.
Yep. And I'll just tell you from experience, I work with DNR very closely, and let me tell you, when they pull up, I know that I'm going to get checked. It's their job.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's their job. And I try to say, you know, I have a radio show every Saturday morning to Grand Strand, and when I have DNR on from time to time, the number one thing that every officer that has ever been on my radio show has asked is just be cooperative. Like, literally, we're just doing a job. Like, at the end of the day, we're there to protect you and the resources, but we're there to protect you. So let me check our stuff and get on out the way. That's all, you know. Don't give them an attitude. That's the worst. And I'll tell you, I did have one tell me that, listen, I can find something wrong on their boat if they want to give me that bad attitude, you know. Yeah. And it's terrible, though. It's terrible sometimes.
If everybody's just quick and easy, we make it simple as can be.
And you got to cover a lot of ground now up there. So I'm guessing you got part of Santee in that county up there?
Yeah, we got the Edisto River, the Santee River, and part of the lake, the lower half of the lake down there.
All right. Getting off the shooting subject, when did a redbreast show up in the Edisto River? Isn't that? Am I right? Is that where it is, or is it lower in the state where?
No, it's about
the redbreasts are supposed to be incredible. I hear
it's right around the corner. It's coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to know that because I got to go get out. I got to go find one. I hear they're unbelievable, and I think they catch them on beetle spins and stuff. Simple.
I mean,
Simple
we gonna
stuff.
talk about fish. Or we talk about shooting.
We talking about fishing and shooting. You know me. Hey, fins for feathers. We talk about it right here.
Yes.
All right. So you were in competitive shooting prior to DNR?
So it all started. I think the whole thing pretty much started back when I was in the 7th grade.
Talking about the junior.
Yeah.
The junior started then?
No, the whole shooting program.
Oh, yeah.
13 years ago about. And my dad was one of the original head coaches, and so
nice.
Kind of found it up from there, and it's grown every year, the whole shooting thing. There's been different teams, high schools, met some great people, actually.
Yeah, these two kind of grew up. He's a little older than Graham, so he kind of looked, hung out with Chandler.
We were just practicing up at a club in their hometown, and my dad, being the coach he was, just said, hey, would you mind if I gave a few pointers to your 2 kids? And that's how we originally met, and we just started hanging out and been shooting together ever since. And
perfect.
See, that goes back
We
to
talked about the relationship.
Yes,
Right.
I'm telling you, it is every kid out there has had a run-in or a
mentor.
Mentor or somebody to be with and look up to. And Sammy used to, probably follow around behind Chandler here, wanting to beat Chandler. Just like I said, that was Graham.
Yeah,
Yep.
still does sometimes.
He's still trying to beat.
Yeah.
We're
He
gonna
hasn't gotten there
figure it
quite
out this
yet.
weekend. We're going to
we're sorting this out right
We're
now.
sorting it out
You're
forever.
sorting it out. Did you go to college and shoot at all?
Yes, sir. I shot at Clemson.
You did too?
4 years.
Oh man, how did I miss that part? Great.
Yeah.
And did he shoot at your place?
He
at
has
Featherhorn?
shot. He has shot. He actually.
But he's not on Team Featherhorn. So Orangeburg y'all have your own deal there?
Yes, sir.
What's the name? What's the team there?
Orangeburg Prep School.
Right, I know the school there. Yep.
Yes, sir. But now me and Dad are coaching at another club team, Calhoun Sporting Clays, that's in St. Matthews.
Okay, wonderful.
A really good team. Also, that's one of our rivals.
Rivals?
So to speak, as Featherhorn's rival. We always pick at each other, me and the other coaches, and it's a big joke, fun. Good time. That's what it is. So same with
That's good.
Scott. It's always all about having fun, really.
Right. It was always, Dad would always say, I mean, you go onto the course and you're head-to-head, but as soon as you get off, you're hanging out, throwing cornhole, throwing around a football, anything.
Yep.
And you really meet some really great people through it.
And again, you may not continue to shoot later in life, but you might make that friend that becomes a business partner later in life, or again, a great friend, and that means a lot. And we talked about Rick was talking about safety and everything else that it teaches, and we're going back a little bit, but it does teach kids safety with guns. And I think first and foremost, a lot of the issues with guns are that parents don't understand themselves, so they don't get a gun, or they don't spend the time talking to a kid about a gun. They want to hide the fact that they have a gun, and instead of taking the kid out. Listen, I've got a 6-year-old, and we have sat down with every single one of my guns. First of all, he knows not to touch any of them without me there. I mean, he will literally will not touch a gun. Now, he'll come get me if one of them happened to fall down or to show up somewhere that he could see it, he will come get me first. And he knows when it's open, he knows when it's empty, and he knows when it's full.
But that's a big thing with our shooting programs. That it's safety number one. Number
Right.
two, I guess, is have fun.
Right.
And number three is break the
Kick
target.
butt.
Yeah, and I mean that's what we build the foundation of everybody's shooting off of safety. And Backwoods is another great place for it. They really strive on it, like here at the U.S. Open, Junior U.S. Open.
Right.
They actually like sit each coach down before every rotation and say, these are the safety rules. Let's just go out there and have a great time and everybody be safe.
A lot of things that these kids are learning, you can't learn it in a better atmosphere than on these sporting clays courses. And Backwoods here, and now that Rick's not sitting here, but he's very humble about it, but I've been to a lot of youth tournaments, and I don't believe there's one in the country that's run just as good as Rick's operation.
Right.
I know his staff is top notch. These guys can say whether it was a true, good thing in their lives, or it was something that you enjoy shooting, no matter if we're picking at you because we're beating you or not, right, Sammy?
I think you picking at me is one of the things that makes it really fun, because it brings out the competitiveness in everyone.
Yeah.
Because Graham and me and Chandler, we're all these competitive, big ego guys who hate losing.
And Sam, it builds character whenever he loses. So.
Yeah. I got a lot of character built up from Chandler here.
It's a character builder.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, speaking of, so after school, are you going to be working for HeyBo?
I haven't really gotten that far yet.
Oh, come on, man. How could you not?
I don't know.
First, we got to get through school, right, Sammy?
Yeah, we got 2 more years, maybe.
What degree are you studying?
I'm an econ major right now.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir.
Clemson for economics.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's great. That's great. My wife went there for accounting and finance.
Got a lot of friends there.
She's now a corporate finance director for Home Depot, so there's hope.
Yeah, there is.
And even though you go to Clemson, you don't have to be a farmer.
No.
Finally. Yeah, so
So back to the
suggestions.
US Open.
Yeah, go ahead.
The junior, why don't you tell us something, kind of one of your favorite memories or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds. I would like to hear that. Favorite memory from youth, from college, whatever. What's your favorite memory from tournaments?
Favorite memories is probably just coming here to Backwoods every year for either the junior or just a regular shoot. It always just seems bigger. It's more of a social event than other shoots. And, if we're at the junior, we're shooting under the lights, Annie Oakley, cooking, just hanging out all weekend.
It's like hanging out with all your buddies and family, so to speak.
That you don't get to see but X amount of times a year.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And you get to try and beat their brains out shooting.
Yeah, they get to try and beat me.
I like that. I like that. You fit perfect in golf. You play golf. You would be perfect in golf. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to continue to be involved, or you obviously are. You're going to continue to be involved when you get out of college. You feel like you'll mentor and help, and are you going to try and compete in the open classes and beyond?
Yes, sir. Most likely I would try to get to shoots that I can shoot at, and then I'd probably come to this one every year and bigger shoots like this.
A lot of people have the misconception you got to be a terrific shooter to go and enjoy some of these shoots. That's not necessary. English. Even you could come into a lot of these shoots and have a ball.
Wonderful. I would love to.
There's different classes, and they've got it where, like Lewis class is broken down in. So if you got 100 shooters, then the bottom 25, the top of the bottom 25, they'll win something.
Right.
It's broken in, so you don't have to shoot the highest score necessarily to be winning prizes or guns or whatever. There's lots of and money. So there's lots of other reasons to shoot other than just trying to beat everybody.
You and I talked about it.
We strive to do that all the time, don't we, Sammy?
Yep.
Yeah, and win the money and the prizes.
Yeah.
We talked about it when we did the podcast at Featherhorn back in January. But so average scores for most of these guys. What are we talking? Out of 100, what are these guys?
You probably.
I would say mine would be, honestly, a 97, 98.
What? God Almighty!
Have you ever shot 100?
Oh yeah, I've done that 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Sammy, how about you? Have you?
I have never shot 100.
You've never shot 100? Have you?
I have never shot 100. 98 was my
98 is my
highest score.
highest.
Yep.
Oh my God! What? So at the point where you've got like, I mean, when you're at 90, and you know that you got a chance at 98
You
or
better not
or
let
better.
up.
I mean, mentally, that's got to be like being. I mean, I shot 11 under at True Blue, the course record there, and I remember with 6 holes to go, everybody in my group could not quit talking about it. I was like, just shut up, just shut up, just shut up. Don't talk about it. I'm sure it was the same way when you've gone perfect. Everybody's like, dude, you haven't missed one yet.
Oh yeah, you cannot talk about the misses.
The best thing you can do is just not think about it. Like just think about something else.
You cannot talk about the misses.
No, you do not. You do not talk about the misses. But I'll tell you what, the misses are going to be few and far between. It doesn't matter what. They're going to happen.
Back to the high scores, I'm saying 95 probably on the course today for the prelim.
Will be an average.
Probably good. No,
That'll
not
be
an
high
average.
score.
That'll be a high score.
All right. So and that I mean, so y'all shot yesterday or y'all shot this morning? Did some of y'all go through and practice? Is that go through the course? Is that how it works? I don't know.
We have teams that have already competed. My personal team, my team that I coach, we have not.
You have not.
We have not shot, and I don't think y'all haven't shot either.
Yeah, we
So
had
when we leave
3
here.
squads from Clemson shoot yesterday, the prelim, and I think the average from them was around a high 80s to like a 90 was their highest.
Yeah,
and a lot of that can depend completely on how, is it Rick that sets a course or is there a governing body that sets a course?
There's certain people that are put over certain courses, and it just kind of depends on theirs or what kind of terrain they're working with, and also the weather between the days.
Right.
Yeah.
Rick sets these.
Yeah.
Rick or his staff will set these targets. I mean, I don't think there's any special course setter or target setter.
That came in.
Oh, there is.
State, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know their names, but yeah. So
Interesting. So here is where I was introduced to the trampoline.
Right.
Rick had set the trampoline up, and I'd heard at that point in time like it was kind of like something new. That thing's crazy coming off that trampoline. Dude, it does everything. Like one time it would come off and just sling, and then it would come off and look like it went to slow motion. That's a hard thing.
Rick is the master of innovating new presentation, target presentations.
Now, is that eligible? Is that legal? I mean, legal or whatever. That can be in the tournament, or does it matter? I mean, like literally, they can set it up however they want to.
Yeah, that's fine, pretty much as long as the target don't break.
Yeah, I've seen it. Rick has
Bounce it
set
off
them up.
Water.
Yeah.
You know, put it on a lift and throw it above your head, 60 feet, 70 feet in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
big
fun.
boy targets.
Yeah, I've seen some of the high targets that he puts out too. Those are fun.
Yes.
Yeah, where they're crossing and everything else, and then I was asking Jimmy because I'd never shot the smaller ones that y'all were shooting up there on the make and break or whatever, and that thing was crazy. Those, I mean, I can't even see them. I couldn't even see. Yeah, exactly, the size of an Oreo.
Yeah.
That's tough. Well, listen, best of luck to you this weekend. Best of luck to your team. Is that why you're here? You're here with the team. Yeah, best of luck to y'all, and thank you both for sitting in with us. Thank you. Jimmy, man, thank you.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it again. I just want to make sure that, we're promoting youth shooting sports.
Absolutely.
SCYSF, South Carolina Youth Shooting Foundation.
Yep.
Great organization in our state, and I will say our state is one of the top, if not 1, 2, or 3 top states in the nation for youth development and shooting sports.
I'm going to put your contact info, email and stuff in this. If somebody listening in South Carolina or North Carolina, Georgia, wherever is interested in finding out more, I'm going to put your contact, Rick's contact in there so they can reach out to them and find out more.
Yeah, because we're all, every one of our teams are looking for new shooters, not necessarily experienced shooters in our, with our kids' youth team. We need young shooters to get involved. And
Right.
we need parents to be, involved with those shooters. But
I think it starts with the parents.
Yeah, I don't know how many teams we have in our state, English, but it's a bunch.
We have a lot, huh?
Our I mean, some of our SCYSF shoots, there's 800 kids at, and sometimes more than that. I don't know exactly what the number is. But, I mean, our state is right there, top 3 in the nation, I would say, in shooters that are really can shoot on a high level.
So for this, I keep coming back. For this, did everybody qualify to get here, or is this just one of those we pay and play?
Pay and play.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, but this tournament brings the top
best
shooters in, I would say, the Southeast and beyond.
It's not just within our state; it's also different. Georgia,
Florida. I think Rick said something about Pennsylvania, North Carolina,
Yep.
Maryland. I know we got some shooters from Maryland. I mean, so there's kids from all over. And if you're going to shoot at a high level, and if you decide to go to college, then there is so many opportunities out there. There's going to be college coaches here, Linwood University college coaches here, and that's a top-notch program. Clemson, I don't know if Rick's going to be here this weekend, but Clemson has a great program. But there's a lot of them that Georgia Southern's got a good program right around our state where our shooters, our kids ought to be thinking about that. I bet you if you look at statistics, there's easier to get a shooting scholarship probably than a baseball scholarship.
Absolutely. Oh, I would think without a doubt.
Because you got so many in baseball, and there is getting to be more kids into shooting, but for a female, it is a great opportunity to advance through college.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of sponsors. You got DNR sponsors, different youth programs. You have HeyBo sponsors.
Yep.
So there's
That's
a lot
great.
of scholarships and all.
That is great. And it's, I mean, like we said, it's safe environment, great times, great people, and I mean, you're outdoors.
That's right.
And I don't care if it's hunting, fishing, fins, fur, feathers. I don't care. You guys are where the future starts. I mean, look, I preach it every week that the youth are the future of our sports. Hunting, fishing, I don't care. And look at you, working for DNR.
Shooting is how I met the game wardens. And
Right.
got to know them. And that's what really got me into the career.
Yeah, back to we got the SCTP in our state, SCYSF in our state, and DNR in our state.
Right.
And then you throw 4-H in there. There's 4 really good organizations to go shoot with. Find a team in your local area. I mean, there's many opportunities out there. Whether your high school doesn't have it, I'm sure there's a club that, that's within driving distance of your home where you can join up, get the kids involved.
Well, that sounds exactly perfect, and I'm going to share all that information in the podcast page, and this music means it is time to head out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and this is Trilogy Outdoors Podcast. Remember, click like, subscribe, and download. Don't just listen to the dang thing. Download it. It's the only way we get mathematically counted numbers. We need you to download it. And thanks to all our wonderful sponsors. Thanks to Featherhorn Farms this week. Thanks to Backwoods Quail Club, Rick, for having us over here. And we'll be back next week talking fins, fur, and feathers here on Trilogy Outdoors Podcast.
Trilogy Outdoors Podcast is a product of Trilogy Outdoors Media. All views and opinions of our hosts and guests are not necessarily those of our sponsors. Trilogy Outdoors is produced and edited by Trilogy Outdoors Media. Be sure to follow us on all the podcast platforms as well as our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also, don't forget our other brands, Southern English Radio Show and Walk 'Em All Outdoor Magazine. To find more information, visit TrilogyOutdoorsMedia.com. And remember, if it's anything dealing with fins, fur, and feathers, you're going to find it right here on Trilogy Outdoors.